Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you my collection of handmade watercolors. I'm going to be going through my entire collection of watercolor paints. I have a lot because over the years I've just collected, but I thought I would start with the handmade ones first. They're quite unique and they're really fun. Some of them smell amazing while we're at it. Some of them I used more for adult coloring than art. Others are just too cute. I don't know. It's collector's thing. Okay, so as you can see, I have two of these just like spilling over with paints. In fact, I wish I would have organized this better. But one brand you may see a lot of is Rachel Beth's Handmade Watercolors. They're called Designs by Rachel Beth on her Etsy. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, most of her paints, she releases only so many, and then you have to either wait till next year when they cycle back around, or they may never come back. Some she always has. Gorgeous, gorgeous paints, though. I typically buy pretty much every set she releases. So they smell amazing too because she uses the clove oil and it is like heaven. So like I have her metallics. We'll be here all day with just her collection. Happily Ever After. Now some of them are metallic, see that shimmer, some are not. Her little curated sets though are so cute. Now this deep space one is, oh, so cute. Okay, Box of Chocolates. I actually used this one on a Valentine's thing not too long ago. These are shimmery. Not all of them are shimmery. Northwest Adventures. Oh, look at those colors. Some of her paints even granulate. Again, handmade. Peanut Butter and Pickles. I just had to get that one. So there is that one. I need to move them all into one big case, obviously. Spring Fever. Look at how bright those are. So they come in anywhere from 3 to 6 count sets. This is Sweet as Can Be. Isn't that pretty? There's a tiny bit of shimmer to these ones. Oh my gosh. Ooh, clove oil. Conversation Hearts. This one she typically always has in the shop. It's a nice metallic paint. Hello Spring. This is another super bright one. So she has like neons and whatnot. Motherly Love. This is one of my favorites. So this is a 5 count, but look at those colors. Aren't they beautiful? And this Magic Mom Spit actually has a little shimmer. It might not show, but I really need to move hers all into a case. They've got a tin of their own thing here. Okay, we have Sparkling Princess. These ones are obviously glitter. Let's Go Camping. This is a 5 count. These are not shimmery. You got 2 that granulate though. The Midnight Sky is so beautiful. Love handmade paints. One in a melon. I haven't even swatched this one yet. So we're gonna set that to the side to remind me. Taco About It. Her names are so cute sometimes. Another one I haven't swatched. Wow, I was wondering where those ones went. Sparkle and Shine. More metallic ones. The metallic ones I tend to use for adult coloring more than watercolor art. But hey, sometimes you want sparkles. Happy Belated Birthday. I like this one as well. It's a mixture of some shimmery paints and some not. The ones at the top are not, the 2 at the bottom are. Beautiful colors though. Wine Not. This one's awesome. Look at the granulation on those reds. Oh, so lovely. I have more of her. Hang on. Make sure there's none hiding in these sets. Okay. Then we have Winter Garden. This was a gorgeous set. Pretty opaque, but the colors were gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Enchanted Forest. This one is luscious. It does have some shimmer to it, but it's very fine. beautiful colors as well. Oops. Precious Stones. This one is so sparkly, but this jade color, oh my gosh, love it. Yeah, I do need to move them all out of here. She's a gem. These are sparkly as well. Look at that. Okay, and then Donut Love. Oh, I remember this one. This one, I loved the colors. I loved this purple, even though it's really opaque. Loved it. I loved the granulation on this blueberry one. Ugh. So that's just Rachel Beth. Let's see. I do need to get out my swatch book for some of these. Okay, so I decided to try these kind of cute little mini pans. So mrshandpainted.com, she's also on Etsy. She has like these little mini pans, and they come like this, but then they come with a swatch card as well. But I mean, these little pans will last you a while. So here are the colors. Isn't that a beautiful set? I think it's just gorgeous. I need to use these. In fact, I may go back and buy a couple of these in the bigger ones, but for now, it's fine. Okay. Let's see. These ones, I do have in a swatch book. Trying to see, just make sure I'm popping open the right ones at the right. Oh, that's Poems About You. Okay. Yep, let me grab my book. Okay, next we will do the ones for Art Spirits. So I have this one here. This is the Alice in Wonderland set. Very glittery paints. This one, I will say, you gotta really be patient on activating. But here are the colors. All metallic, so definitely I use them more for adult coloring. But still, it's a cute little curated set. She makes great paints. Obviously, I don't buy as many of hers, but it's more of a shipping factor. Designs by Rachel Beth is, in fact, she lives in Idaho while I am in Utah, so I get the paints a lot quicker. But yeah, let's see the other Art Spirits. Okay, so another one, I can't find the swatches for them, but they have swatch cards inside. I think this was called like an ocean theme one. Again, more metallic watercolors. It's hard to tell on these here, but I use these typically for my adult coloring rather than art. Then she had another one that was Wizard of Oz themed, and this one was really pretty. I have to say, this pink up here surprised me in a good way. And the silver is practically chrome, so it was gorgeous. Okay. Then I have the infamous Masha's watercolors. I had first seen these on Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, and someone had sent them to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to try these. So I got the floral set, and you can pick curated sets from her. They come in this magnet box, which is unbelievable. Gorgeous artwork. The artwork changes depending on which one you get, but I'm going to check it out. I mean, this thing is well made. And then it comes with a ceramic plate on the inside. Your paints here. And these are the colors. So we have Tiger Eye, Flame, Peach, Weathered Rose that I want to die for. Look at the granulation. Now these, most of hers granulate or have a separating factor, but like her ultramarine magenta, her turquoise violet, deep sea, forest green. I'm in love with like everything on this page. Her ocean wave, cobalt green hue, the separation, holy cow. This shadow green dark, oh my gosh, and serpent green. Now she is one of the few that give you pigment numbers with the watercolor. She's also probably one of the more expensive ones I have featured here. Now I don't have light fast information from her, but she gives you the pigments, so at least you know what you're playing with. And her paints are unbelievably well made. And then of course the cases too. You don't have to buy them in these cases, but I did for the full experience. But you know, to each their own kind of thing. All right, next. Okay, I have a little tin here from Poems About You. They're pretty big on Etsy. They do a lot of paint curations and like little sets. I had got, I forget what the name of this set was called. I should have wrote that down. But here are the paints. I mean, they overfill those half pans. Pretty well made. The colors were really beautiful, but most of them were very opaque. About the only ones that were transparent. Now this one doesn't look like it, but it is if you water it down. Same with the chrome green light and the cerulean blue, but everything else was pretty transparent. And overall, I wasn't as wowed as I wanted to be, considering, you know, how much you paid for them and the shipping. So that was the other thing. Also by Mrs. Hand Painted. I can't find the little tin they're in. Those tins go missing. But I had purchased her Supernova set. It's packaged similarly to this one here. The thing is, these do not fare well sitting in storage. But Drop It Like It's Hot, I did swatch up here as well. You can kind of see a slight difference. Paper does matter, everyone. Paper will change the color and performance. This is a Fabriano watercolor paper book. I eventually switched to my Etcher cold press, but a lot of these handmade sets I had gotten before I started getting into more expensive stuff. But I do have the Supernova set, and I loved the colors. I loved the nebula. It's like a dioxazine violet, but on steroids. Stellar was beautiful. But a couple of these are really opaque, and opaque is just not my thing. But either way, I thought they were gorgeous. Let's see. I'll move on to the next. Okay, I had gotten the Underground Collection by Renaissance Colors. They're just little dot cards, but I mean, these are so hefty. They're going to last me a while. And I swatched them out here. These are all sparkly. Oh, the Jets are with us again. But I really do like them, but I tend to use them more for adult coloring. Again, it's just because I don't have the information on like their light fast testing and whatnot. And then I had purchased her half pan set of the Afternoon Tea collection. Now keep an eye on this store on Etsy, because occasionally when they are in the US, you get the cheaper shipping. So that's when I jump on and buy. But I had gotten this one for more of adult coloring than art. Still gorgeous set of colors. Okay, and then not too long ago, I had discovered Jasper Stardust. I actually spoke to Jasper because I ordered some custom watercolor brushes from him. Are these not the coolest looking things you've ever seen? It's like a wand straight out of Hogwarts. He hand turns these and makes them, let's see if I can get that on there. Oops. And yeah, they're beautiful. I'll have to do a thing with them. I'm nervous to use them. But I had bought a few sets from him. I have a couple I still need to swatch. But one that I did swatch was Into the Mystic. Now that's this set here. Now we got a lot of cracking and separation on these. So I'm not sure what he uses in his formula. That part was a little bit disappointing, just at how dried out they get. However, once you wet them, you actually don't notice. They're just fine and dandy. So this is the Into the Mystic set. So yeah, they looked like this, and I was like, oh crap, these are gonna be awful. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And they're all like his curated colors and themes kind of have a thing going with them. But look at this. Could you imagine just doing a big floral spread with that? I think it's so pretty. So I really do like these colors. He doesn't have his pigment information on his Etsy though, so I'm not necessarily sure what pigments he's using, but he does have some well-made paints, that's for sure. And then I got the Ocean Aid set. This one wasn't as dried and cracked out. And then the colors, I'm not as big of a fan of this one because there was too many sparklies. But I love the granulation with a lot of his cobalt colors. They were really pretty. And then like these last ones here are sparkly. Now I had also bought, this was like an expansion. It was like a forest expansion, so I need to swatch these. Now a couple of these are going to overlap some of the colors I've gotten. All of his sets and even his expansions have some overlap. However, I did have him email me like a list of all his colors available, so I could kind of make myself a checkoff chart. I like the performance of his paints. They are expensive though. So yeah, I had grabbed this one. I haven't swatched it yet. Girl can only swatch so much. And then, was it this one? No, it's this one. Yes, this was like a foresty themed one, and I had bought that and then bought the expansion set to go with it. So I need to swatch these. Again, I'm going to have some overlap, like Sour Violet I actually already have right here, but there's no way to get a set that doesn't overlap. So that is the one drawback. However, he's a very nice guy, super awesome. He even sent me some free liquid watercolors to try because he's breaking into the liquid watercolors. So I have 3 of them here just to test out that he sent over to me for free. So he's super good with his customer service. He ships pretty quickly. His brushes do take a while because he's handcrafting them and there is quite a bit of lead time. But yeah, overall, awesome customer service, and that's what matters, right? Especially if you're getting a handmade product. So out of all my handmade paints, like what's my favorite? Well, obviously I have like 20 or 30 Rachel Beth ones, but she is my favorite. I love the way she makes her paints, the cute little curated sets. But quality-wise, I would have to say it's Masha's. And not just for this tin, although this is absolutely amazing. The quality of the paints, like the second you wet them, they have a honey binder, so they're always a teensy sticky, but not too sticky like other honey binders. They're awesome quality. The colors are absolutely gorgeous, and she gives you the pigment information so you know what you're playing with, which I appreciate. And then of course the box is a nice add-on. But she's definitely first. Rachel Beth would be my second. Jasper would probably be my third. And then everyone else is kind of just thrown in the 4th category. But that is my collection of handmade watercolors. Now, if I'm creating something for commissioned artwork, obviously I'm not going to use handmade watercolors. They don't have the testing. They don't necessarily, let me know what pigments are being used. So mixing them and understanding the light fastness of each one is kind of up in the air. But I recommend handmade watercolors because I feel like creating watercolors is an art. This cannot be done easily. It's a lot of work. So I love creating art with other people's art, or at least that's how I look at it. So I really enjoy it. If it's just for fun and in my sketchbook, I'm totally going to reach for those. And like I said, I need to put all these in like their own tin. I need to buy one big tin and toss these bad boys in there. But that is my collection of handmade watercolors. Like I said, I typically buy on Etsy. And then I think in my next video, I will just kind of go over all of my artist grade ones and even the student grade because they're still up there, and try to keep it as short as possible. Oh, but I do have some not necessarily artist grade. They call themselves artist grade, but they're not. So I'll have like a miscellaneous category. But yeah, oops, that is my handmade watercolor collection. And I'd love to know if you own any of these handmade watercolors yourself, your thoughts. I did purchase a set from Essie, I think is how you say it. I haven't gotten around to swatching them yet, so they are in my pile to swatch. So I will definitely be doing that soon. And I have a whole bunch of new Schminke paints I just got that I need to swatch because I need to get my Schminke palette figured out. Yes, that's my problem of the week, right? I need to plan a Schminke palette. But thank you all for hanging out with me. I hope I showed you some brands and gave you an idea of what's out there. And then I would love to know your favorites. Maybe there's some that I haven't tried or heard about. I'd love to see what you guys are using in the handmade watercolor world. But until next time, take care. Bye now.